Concentrate gives new comedians a chance to try out new material. We're giving them each a minute each. It's the Comedy Concentrate. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fast. It's going to be furious. Most importantly, it's going to involve you. If you're watching on YouTube, we need you to join in with a live chat. We need you to communicate. This is live. This is come on. Nobody's answering me. Tell me if you're there. We don't know if you're there. I could be in my room talking to a phone, tied to a hat stand, and nobody's listening. Let me know. Come on. If you're watching on YouTube, send us messages. Let the comedians know you're enjoying it. Send some thumbs up and send some clapping. We've also got the comedians in the dressing room with Shirley. Let's have a look at them, Shirley. Let's have a big wave from all those comedians. If they're not waving, they don't get on. That's what I say. Come on, guys. Didn't get your hands blurring like me. There's your comedians. They're going to be entertaining you tonight. All you've got to do on YouTube is watch, make some comments, join in a little bit, make it fun as you can. If you're on your own, scream and shout and wake up the neighbours. Do whatever you can. Bang, 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 bang on a pan. Make some noise as we welcome to the stage the first act. Let's start the clapping. Let's start the cheering. Let's start the whooping as we welcome to the stage the wonderful Mr. Simon. Come on, Simon.
Woo! So I don't know about you guys, but I found that lockdown has brought out the competitive streak in a lot of my friends. Everyone's discovering something, whether it's a new hobby, a new career, whether their partner's cheating on them, weight loss. I mean, that's one that I've definitely not discovered. But I have had a few revelations of my own. I've decided through lockdown that actually I would like to have children. And when my friends started doing it a few years ago, I thought they were all mental, mainly the spitting, the shitting and the shouting. It's all a bit intense. But as their kids are getting a little bit older, I kind of can see why they keep them around. I mean, one of my mates, her kid does more housework than she does, and I'm really into that. So, I mean, mainly reason why I'd like to have kids is so that I can say things like, no, you can't go out. I didn't see my friends for 3 months once. You can go up to your own Karen and you can think about that. Don't worry, I'm not set on names yet. I'm still kind of at that phase where I'm trying to decide between like the quirky ones like Persephone, Apple, Wilfred, or just like the classics. See, I'm from an immigrant family and the way they choose our names is normally with a Bible so that they can make them Christian enough. So I'm Simon, leper, which not great, but it could be worse. I've got a cousin who got named Judas. Now, the woman at the registry office did try and tell my auntie that it probably wasn't the best name, but she was adamant she was being racist, so she stuck with it. There's not many times when you say Mustafa looks better on a CV than a biblical name, but we go with it. The other big thing that happened for me really through lockdown is I decided to come out to my dad. So it was hard. It was intense. There was a lot of shouting. There was a lot of crying, a little bit of begging. He blamed the internet. He blamed the TV. He blamed my friends. He blames Corona. And it doesn't matter. It wouldn't have happened if we still lived in Iran. I think he's come to terms with it now after hours of talking about it, and he's accepted that I am an atheist.
Yay! Come on! It's Simon Reza! He's telling you jokes! He's entertaining you! If you're watching on YouTube, let him know what you thought! Send him some messages, send him some emojis, send him some claps, send him some thumbs up! Simon, I don't know if you know, but this whole children thing, I was telling some people last week, me and Shelley, we've got 5 kids, including us. That's 7 people. That means when we go out, we have to leave 1 behind. You're only allowed to go out with 6.
I'm only looking for 1, so should we talk afterwards about prices?
No, which one do you want? I tell you what, take the youngest one, because we always have to leave her on her own, and she gets scared. That was Simon Reza, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause, clapping, cheering, whooping. Thank you, Mr. Simon Reza. It's time for the next act. All you've got to do is join in, clapping, cheering, shouting, whooping. Comedians, come on, clap until your hands are blurring. Come on, Simon, get those moving. Come on, Alex, come on, those hands until they're blurring. Let's welcome to the stage, Jack McKenna. Come on, Jack.
Hey guys, how's it going? All the way from Dublin.
Hey.
To be indoors. Yeah. So America kind of went a bit crazy recently. America, I've always thought as the popular troubled child in school. And I'm not going to be around the bush. We saw a bit of racism. But America stood up and said, we will not stand for this. And I have to say, everybody was so proud until they started looting and rioting. Like, I basically saw a TikTok of a man doing the robot as Starbucks burned to the ground, you know? Bit weird. Talking about crazy events, Dominic Cummings was in the news when he drove from London to Durham, 260 miles. When he was asked why he broke curfew and lockdown, he said, oh, it was to test my eyes. I just hope Specsavers don't adopt the same techniques, you know? They'd be like, Mr. Murphy, can you see the dashboard? The dashboard! I can't even see the road! Then Twitter banned Dominic's name, you know? I mean, Dominic Cummings. That's what happens when you have the same name as a very keen 70s porn star. I just wanted to be in the room when he said, Dad, I want to be an MP. An MP, boy? Oh, but the Cummings have been adult entertainers for years. I heard about changing your name for porn, but maybe you should have changed your name for politics. I'm just saying. And speaking of crazy politicians, even in Ireland, our Taoiseach, our Prime Minister, Leo Varadkar, was caught sunbathing in Phoenix Park topless. Now, Leo, if you want to, you know, appeal to the agricultural community, I suggest go for a farmer's tan. He went, I was actually aiming for a bit of a nice, healthy glow. And that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, come on! Cross the Jack McKenna! Also, as if you're watching on YouTube, what have you got to do? You've simply got to get your fingers out and type him a message. Let him know what you thought. These comedians are getting no feedback on their material. They need to know. They need encouragement. That's what Comedy Virgins is all about, encouraging new material, encouraging new comedians. Send them some messages. Come on, send them some love. That was Mr. Jack McKenna. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Start the clapping, start the cheering, start the whooping. Make as much noise as you possibly can for the amazing Elaine Fellows. She's coming. She'll be here in a minute. There's Elaine.
Hello. So I've been listening to a lot of music in lockdown, but I'm still too cheap to actually pay for Spotify. So I don't pay for my Spotify, so I get a lot of adverts. And one of the adverts I get all the time is, you've probably heard it, it's the Royal Navy one. You know, the one where they're like, if you can fix a board, then you can fix a bike. If you can fix a bike, then you can fix a car. And essentially what's happened in my life is that now the Royal Navy has made me believe I can do a whole bunch of shit that I can't do. So like, it's really seeped in. And in lockdown, I've really started to think like, do you know what? If I can get dressed, then I can put the kettle on. And if I can put the kettle on, then I can make a cup of tea. And if I can make a cup of tea, then I can save the NHS, end systemic racism, and bake the perfect focaccia. So that's been my lockdown. I've been pretty busy. To be honest, I should have learned from the last time that this happened to me, because a few years ago, the army kept telling me, your army needs you. And it's taken me lots of years to realise, no, they don't. No, they don't. I'm a piece of shit. I have never even won a thumb war, let alone anything else. And I actually gave up on my Duke of Edinburgh Bronze Award hike 35 minutes in and went home. So the army definitely don't need me. So I've been coming to terms with that mostly in my lockdown. And that's about it for me, I think. Thanks so much, guys.
Woo!
Yeah.
Doing some jokes just for you. Let her know what you think. Send her a message. Send us a come on, type it. Just type it. Get your fingers and type her a message. That's all I'm asking. It's not much. You're just sitting at home. She's working hard. Type her a message. Let her know what you think. That was Elaine, fellows. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a comedian. He's been at the Cavendish longer than our carpet. Mr. Brendan. Oh, Donahue! Come on,
Brendan! Good evening, YouTubers. Yes, indeed, I've been thinking about public transport, I remember the good old days of the tube, I mean, I've got a loop now from MC Hammer, going around just going, when I get on the tube, it just automatically goes, you can't touch this. It's just playing in my ear all the time. But what I like about the tube is, the way you're on the tube and you're there, aren't you? And you're hurtling along, and all of a sudden you come to a grinding halt, don't you? And you're stuck 200 meters beneath the Thames, and you stop being a customer and you start being held hostage once you buy TfL. And as you're there in the tunnel being held hostage beneath the Thames, this voice comes over the tannoy, and there's a voice of a man who's been in a tunnel for 30 years, doesn't it? And he goes, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're held here at a red signal, but just to let you know, there is a good service on all other lines." Thanks very much, mate. Because I was just sitting here thinking, on the Jubilee, thinking, I wonder how they're getting on the Piccadilly. You know what I mean? Absolutely, you know what I mean. They were flying along. I picked the wrong line again. Anyway, that's my little bit on the tube. Good luck to everybody, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks very much. Good night.
Donahue! If you're watching on YouTube, let them know what you think. It's Brendan O'Donoghue. Come on, round of applause for Brendan. Let's keep that round of applause going, guys. Come on, make some noise. Let me see your hands in front of the camera. Come on, Simon. Let's get those hands moving really fast. Clapping, cheering, shouting with me as we welcome to the stage the next man. It's Mr. Alex Franklin.
Oh crap! It's me. Hey, hello. Hey. I've been doing this thing lately, which is called living with my dads. It's awful. I wouldn't recommend. It's very awkward. Never, like 0 stars. Never do it. I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy, which is my dad, which is why it's so bad. I don't know if other people do this thing, but I'll be on my laptop as I don't know, as young people do, and I'll be looking up like something a little odd, like ASMR or the individual placements of the cast of an old season of The Apprentice and where they all place, and like they've changed since the last time I've looked. And my dad will walk in behind me, and I'll immediately open up a new tab or open Facebook to hide what I'm doing because I'm a little embarrassed. Like he would care. Like he'd walk in one day and be like, "Son, I understand watching porn, but I draw the line in not knowing The Apprentice placements from The Apprentice season. For shame." In fact, from his perspective, I think he's probably more embarrassed to have a son who has seemingly, from his point of view, spent the last 2 months staring at the Google homepage. Like, how boring of a life must he think that I lead? So, Alex's dad, what does your son do for fun? Oh, he spends a lot of time on YouTube and Facebook. Oh, so watching videos and messaging friends? No, he just stares. He likes the layout, I think. I think he especially likes when Google changes their sign to tell you it's an old scientist's birthday. He loves that. That's me. That's me done. That's hey.
Alex Franklin! I don't know what to do. I'm just going to send you some messages. That's all you're going to do. Some clapping. clapping, some cheering, some shouting, some thumbs up and some comments for Mr. Alex Franklin. And look at that lovely backdrop. That's the Cavendish Arms, a fabulous venue for musical comedy. Somewhere where you probably need to donate some money to our crowdfunder, otherwise we'll never be able to open again. Nice plug. Thank you to me. Yay! Okay, Shirley,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, I am now. I had a few issues, but yeah, good now.
Yeah, I know. Alex was talking about kind of living with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Alex was talking about living with dad. And like, throughout lockdown, I've had to share with my wife. I thought it was going all right. I thought it was generally going all right. You know, I thought, you know, we're not arguing. I thought it was going really well, lockdown with the wife. And I realised that very soon we'll have been married for 10 years. And I said to her, you know, come August, we'll still be in lockdown, but we'll have been married for 10 years. And I sort of said to her, fancy signing up for another 10 years, honey? And what did you say, Shirley?
I said maybe we could just like have a rolling contract, just, you know. See how it goes.
Just like a monthly contract.
Yeah, just, you know, with a month's notice and stuff, and just, you know.
So it turns out it's not going as well as I thought. I'm on a monthly notice, guys. I'm going to have to do stuff. I'm going to have to make this work. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Up Next Act. Are you ready? If you're ready, comedians, can you put your arms up like this, but don't move them? That's it. And then turn them like this, and then slowly bring them together like this, and start them moving until they're blurring. And if you can all go, yeah! Yeah! Sanjeev Kumar! Come on, Sanjeev! That's it.
Everyone, this Sanjeev. I have a confession to make. I don't like stand-up anymore because that means getting off my corona-free couch. You know which is the cleanest part of your body now? It is no, it's not your hand, it's your bum. Given the amount of toilet paper people have bought, it has to be your bum. Indians use water. Imagine if Indians were using hand sanitizer for cleaning their bum. That will be an anal way of killing the virus. The virus comes from a snake. Melania Trump said she's not worried about the virus because she's used to living with one. Corona is actually helping relationships. Similar to David, it's making things very clear. More time with your wife, listening to her more, trying to understand her more. None of that helps. Husbands, no guilty feeling that only if you had more time to spend with your wife, it will be better. No. But you know, my wife is trying out new recipes. You know, the recipes look great. Yeah, they just look great. Yeah. It's better to have coronavirus because that will take my sense of taste and smell, and I can try out the recipes without guilt. And my wife will find me more charming, infectious, and hot. I'm also feeling a bit royal. You know, I'm locked down at home, not allowed to interact with anyone. I have to agree to whatever my wife says. I'm feeling exactly like Prince Harry. Oh no, he's not royal anymore, and he's not allowed to speak anyways. That's it from my side, guys. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Give him a round of applause. Send him some comments. Send him some love. Let him know what you think. But most of all, get ready for the next act. Start some clapping. Start the tune. Start the whooping. And a little bit of yeah. We want to say, Mr. Julius Ward. Where are you, Julius?
Hello. I've been watching the Great Pottery Showdown with my grandparents, but they both want to be cremated, so for them it's like house hunting. My mum would hit me as I was growing up, but I don't want you guys to think she's a bad person for that. I mean, it was all in self-defense. I recently learned to drive, and my mum has been spouting statistics to me non-stop. Like, did you guys know you're 5 times more likely to crash in a tunnel than on the road? And that risk doubles if you're drunk or a member of the royal family. Since his leaving the royal family, Harry has taken up painting, officially making him the artist formerly known as Prince. I have a soft spot for pushing the top of a newborn baby's head. And I'll end on this. As a new parent, there are a lot of questions you have to ask yourself, like, when do you let your child cross the road on its own? I say when you see a car coming. Well done, thank you.
Hey!
Hey! That was genius! Sorry, I was a bit late coming in there. I was too busy laughing at his joke. What did you think, though, guys? Come on, send us a message. Let us know what you think. Give us some thumbs up. Come on.
Yeah.
Julius, children, you've had a child, have you? Is that what you're saying? You've got a baby, or are you just making it up? Or
Not to my knowledge.
oh, I thought you were talking about Hannah. Because being a father, I want to give you a little bit of advice. Being a father is not. It's hard. All right, it's really hard being a good father. I'm never sure whether I'm a good father or not. But when I think back to when my first daughter was about 3 years old, I read her a story, and I was in her bedroom. And as I went to the door, I had my finger on the light switch, and she said, "Daddy, don't turn off the lights." And I said, "Why not?" And she said, "Because of the monsters under the bed." And I said, "But if I leave the light on, the monsters will see you. At least if we put the light off." Oh, I don't know. Am I a good dad? I don't know. I'm thinking not. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the last act of the evening. Please put your hands together. Start the clapping, start the cheering, start the whooping. Make all the noise that you've ever made on your own in a room before. As we welcome our headline actors, Mr. Kelly Raheem. Come on, please.
Guys, all right, so my family's Muslim, right? And I'm an atheist. And honestly, guys, it's weird. It's weird growing up around a bunch of people that believe in God and a community that believes in God when you don't, because somehow you're the crazy one. And every day it's the same thing. Every day it's, why don't you believe in God? How can you not believe in God? You should believe in God. And I'm like, guys, listen, I don't even believe in myself. All right, so I don't know, maybe let's start small. Maybe let's work on my self-esteem and work our way up to this idea of a higher being. But I've been growing up a child, right, that I didn't really believe in religion. Basically, every Saturday, I would go to the mosque to do Islamic studies. And before I get to the mosque, I would always buy a bag of Haribos, because Haribos are delicious. And on this particular Saturday, the teacher decided to give us a sex talk. So he comes in and he says, "Okay, guys, you're grown up now, and you're probably thinking about sex. Well, let me tell you something. God does not want you to have sex. Sex before marriage is a sin." And before I can process that, he points at me and says, "Also, Khaled, you can't eat Haribos anymore. There's pork in that." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm out." The terrible club. And he says, and then he's like, "Stop calling it a club, Khaled." And I'm like, "I don't know, man. We're wearing the same clothes, doing the same activity. Kind of feels like a club." Anyways, guys, my name's Kelly Raheem, and I think that's my time.
Come on! If you're watching on YouTube, let them know what you think. All the comedians will entertain you tonight. Let them know what you think. They need your feedback. Without your feedback, they can't grow. They can't feel wonderful. They can't write more for you. That's bad news, guys. Really bad news. We've been open for 12 years. We've never made a profit at the Cavendish Arms. We set it up as a place for new comedians to perform or established comedians to try out new material. We've never taken a wage from it. We have other jobs. We do it for love. It's run out of money. The pandemic, it's closed. We've been closed for 3 months. We haven't sold a beer. We're still paying bills. When we reopen, it's going to cost us even more because we won't be allowed as many people in and we'll have to have more staff on. We can't do it. We've got a crowdfunder. We've got to raise £20,000. We're over halfway there. We're at about £11,000. We need another £9,000 before I think it's about 2.5 weeks to raise it. So please, if you're watching this, it's either because you've got friends who do comedy, you're supporting somebody, please donate some money so they have somewhere to go. Imagine the Cavendish Arms is like a badminton court. If they like badminton, they would go and practice badminton. And you'd want to keep that sports centre open for them. Keep the Comedy Virgins and Cavendish Arms open. If you're a comedian watching this, please donate some money. Ask somebody else to donate money. We've got to do £400 a day to make it. None of it will go in our pockets, just to keep us open, otherwise we will close. I generally at this point just keep talking and talking about money until Shirley switches me off, because basically I love the Cavendish. I do it with passion and pride. So many people love it. So many people want it to stay open, but we need everybody to donate some money. £20. Lock in your love for the Cavendish. Please, whatever you do, give some money so that we can donate the money to the Cavendish and keep the Cavendish going for as long as we can. So
Well done.